it's time to take a look at Heimdal Security's threat prevention. This is our DNS, HTTP, and HTTPS filtering module. It's one of the proactive modules that Heimdal is so famously known for. It's built to proactively prevent against attacks like ransomware, APTs, and data leakage. It's built around our unique dark layer guard and vector and detection engines. It has won multiple awards and is even recommended by Microsoft and utilized by the RBS and NatWest Banking Group. To understand how threat prevention actually works, it's a good thing to understand how malware is deployed in the first place. As you might know by now, the internet is built around the domain name system, all of these DNS servers that are connecting you to the web-based servers that the content you're trying to engage with is hosted on. You see, when you're going through the DNS system, connecting to a server based somewhere around the world, you create a two-way street of communication between you and that server. Unfortunately, that allows people with malicious intent to use this connection to redirect you to a malicious server as well. Unfortunately, this happens without your knowledge. When someone with malicious intent are doing this, they will most likely make sure that you encounter a dropper server first. You see, a dropper server is built to deliver a nasty little piece of malware. This little malware is not actually infecting you. It's there to gather information about your system. What operating system are you on? What security solutions do you have installed? Do you have any vulnerable third-party applications? Once it gathered all of the information it needs, it will relay this information to a payload server. See, the payload server is where the malware actually is. And the payload server will automatically use the information gathered in order to create a malware package, a so-called payload, that will have the highest chance of success with infecting your system. Now this payload is being downloaded to your machine, and you are infected. Once this infection happens, there will be created a backdoor between your machine and a command and control server. This command and control server allows the cyber criminals to take over your machine to control their malware as well as your system. They can now use your computer to attack other people or even infect your entire organization. They can control your webcam or microphone. They can even encrypt your entire hard disk and hold you ransom. When they do this, they will connect you to a final server called a key server, and this server stores the unique encryption key used to lock your system. See, the good thing about all of this is that the cyber criminals, like ourselves, are relying on the DNS infrastructure. They're using the DNS to set up all of these vast automatically communications. And the reason this is a good thing is that this is where threat prevention comes into place. This is the bottleneck that we can protect against so that you will never get malware again. See, the way that it works is if you have a computer without threat prevention installed, you will connect to the DNS that will redirect you to the web-based server, and that will redirect you to the malicious server as well. Now, if instead you choose a machine with threat prevention installed on it, all of your requests will go through the Heimdal agent on your machine, and the Heimdal agent will determine if the request is legitimate or malicious. If it's malicious, we will block it right then and there, and you will never encounter the malicious server in the first place. And therefore, it will never be able to download any dropper or payload to your system. This is proactive security at its finest. Now, if the request, on the other hand, is legitimate, Heimdal Security, with the agent on your endpoint, will relay that request to the DNS system, allowing you to connect to the content online that you need, but never ever encounter a malicious server again. The way that we do this is by utilizing our market-leading threat intelligence. The threat intelligence is the knowledge we have about all the servers and malicious infrastructures that the cyber criminals are using. You see, a server comes with a cost. And like any business, the cyber criminals are trying to lower their cost and optimize their revenue. So they will utilize the same infrastructure in multiple attacks. They will even utilize and sell the infrastructure to other hackers. This is why we can protect against any known malicious server online, because we gather this threat intelligence and store it inside of our solution. But on top of that, we are now also the only vendor in the world to offer predictive DNS. See, we have taken this knowledge of millions upon millions of malicious servers and infrastructures, and we have fed that into our artificial intelligence. And that allows us to scan unknown new servers and with a 96% success rate determine if they are built to be malicious or legitimate. So with predictive DNS inside Heimdal Security's threat prevention, your customers can get the best proactive security in the market. And you need to make sure they understand that 91.3% of all malware is using DNS to communicate. So it's time to stop depending on legacy solutions like antivirus. And it's time to start using the world's most advanced DNS security solution.